What's good? It's your boy Herb Titter. Welcome back to the show, The Transition. Today I'm talking about messages in the truth. You know, when we were growing up, when you wanted to know something serious and that was above your age group, you went to our parents' music, which was the oldies to us, and R&B normally would tell you what your parents wouldn't tell you, or you get a chance to hear something that you wanted to know about sex or anything else. For us, hip hop was truth. We get a chance to experience what is happening in the streets and what is happening with us going to school. And I'm talking about, this was middle school, for us, where you still had to go through gang situations and police brutality and all of this other stuff. This was something that, you could see through hip hop. Hip hop would talk about it the way you wanted to get people to see what you were living. You know, late 80s going into the 90s, that was our era of high school and actually getting a chance to hear what was taking place in everybody's neighborhoods. Like I could reach out and feel empathy and sympathy for my homies in LA, my homies in New York, my homies in New Orleans, for us coming from Chicago, the homies out of Seattle. You got a chance to realize that we're not the only city that has poverty. We're not the only city that has police rustling us rustling us. You know, it just felt good to have that message of truth, to know that I'm not the only person that's going through it. I was robbed gunpoint in the 6th grade for some, this is not silver, but it looked like this, silver chains, and just ridiculous for that type of stress and frustration, fear of wanting to do that, but then that fear turning into courage. And then I could also say stupidity, because now I'm saying nobody's going to take anything from me. Something that is at that time was a silver chain. You could have got one of those for $40, $20, depending on the size and the weight, so you're going to risk your life for that. But that's where my mind went with that. But listening to the messages of truth through hip hop let me know that I'm not the only person that's out here forced to gang bang. You know what I'm saying? Tired of getting messed with by all gangs, and it's like, you know what? You got to join one to get through. But learning after high school that there is no gold watch for gang banging. So understanding that situation, now you got to understand a different type of message that's coming through the truth of that, of the workforce, and how you'll get stabbed in your back by people in the workforce, and they'll smile right in your face, and they're not even going to get one step ahead. This is just what goes on in the workforce. So you have to switch your mindset of what your mindset is in the street to figure out how to navigate through this type of betrayal on a day-to-day basis, because some people do believe they're going to get ahead if they get rid of you. Some people just have miserable lives. So this is just kind of what happens in the workforce, but also having hip hop tell you about that. The messages of truth that come through hip hop was huge for us, when we were growing up, and then huge for me as an adult. As I go back and listen to some of the songs that our parents were listening to, I was singing songs that was definitely talking about sex, but I thought they was talking about something else because I was a kid, So understanding that situation, you get a chance to live and feel those messages through hip hop. So for me, when I decided to do solo project with Wes, and he pretty much let me know you still got something to say. When we started on that journey for Psychedelic in My Mind, I wanted to make sure that I still had a message of truth, where I'm not talking about jewelry. I'm like, man, I got a few pieces that I like, but the reality for videos, you better use costume jewelry, because the reality is that stuff depreciates so fast, it's not even a joke. Cars, I can only drive one car. House, I can only live in one house. These are things that you don't spend your money on when you get that type of money. But when you're seeing everybody flossing that really hasn't been educated enough to understand what's going on, and then if you're 12, what do you really know about depreciation and cars, any of this stuff? What do you know about houses? What do you know about mortgages? What do you know about any of these things? Percentages, income tax, FICA. Do you even know that taxes come out? If you've never worked a day in your life, you don't understand any of this stuff. So to go and buy a chain for $100,000, you think it's a good investment. You think you'll be able to at least get that back. You won't even get half of that back after probably about 6 months, and then the longer you keep it, the less money you're going to get for it. So these are things that, man, hip hop taught us. Don't get high off your own supply. NWA made sure that we understood that whole situation. If you were going to be a street pharmaceutical person, then that means that you were going to understand that you can't get high off of what you're selling. Once I decided that I was going to do Psychedelic in My Mind, I made sure that I needed to have those messages. I'm not slighting anybody else that's doing hip hop, and if you don't want to have a message, then that's fine. If you just want to be, I've heard a couple of artists, just let us young dudes be young dudes. If that's what you want to do, then by all means, man, just don't be frustrated when I'm doing my thing, because we in two different spots. I think 50 said it best, is that hip hop is so connected to dysfunction, is that, and actually no responsibility, is that once responsibility creeps in, everybody wants to hide from it, but you can't hide from it forever. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well start getting an understanding of how you put yourself into a house and lock yourself into a mortgage that actually won't change for the next however many years, 10, 20, however many years you sign for that house. You're only paying that a month. Hip hop used to talk about something, and that's why I said, for me, coming into I Am Who I Say I Am, I got a lot of little gems in there for everybody. But this is my story. I say it like Kevin Hart. There's nobody's life I'm living through my songs. This is mine, so I'm not stealing anybody's story. I know my name, and I got respect for him. G Herbo's name is really close, but my name is Herb, for real. You know what I'm saying? So understanding that Herb.S, Herb Shah, Herb period S, that's who I am. So understanding that situation, and we're selling two different things. We're in two different age groups, but I got respect for him because of Chicago. But nevertheless, I am who I say I am. You know what I'm saying? So these are my stories, and this is the stuff that I've gone through, and you will hear more when the part 2 comes out, The Dark Side. I am who I say I am. But I wanted to make sure that I had messages of truth in what I write. Anything, follow me, Google me, go look on DJ Digital Pool, SoundCloud. Anytime I've been on track, even with the people in the business, I speak me. So if you ain't feeling me, then I'm cool with that. Because, look, Michael Jordan didn't get everybody. Michael Jackson didn't get everybody. Tupac didn't get everybody. Biggie didn't get everybody. Jay-Z didn't get everybody. 50 didn't get everybody. So Eminem didn't get everybody. So understanding that situation. And wait a minute, I got to say my boy, Chris Brown, definitely didn't get anybody. He didn't get everybody either. So, it's just kind of frustrating to know that as an artist, you think you're supposed to get everybody coming into this game, but then you got to realize that, when you record that song, that's it. That's how I felt. I put my best foot forward on that song. You know, if you don't feel it, then tell me what you don't like about the song, and then we move on. But if you ain't feeling me, then I get it. There's a lot of artists I'm not feeling. You'll never see me on any of these platforms talk about any artist. Nobody, you know, because again, I get what it is to do this. So the biggest thing is that if you're not feeling me, don't tune in. If you are feeling me and you don't like that song, then, you know, drop me a little knowledge on what you don't like about that song, and then we move on. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is that I want to make sure that I have messages of truth in my music, because that's what I grew up with. Hip hop was telling me something. Hip hop was letting me know which way to go, because when you're young, you don't think your parents know anything. You know, they too old to understand what's going on. So you'll listen to an artist who may be younger than you to tell you how to navigate through your city, and they don't live there. You know, so for us, our artists was saying that. Our basketball players were saying that. Charles Barkley said it on a number of occasions. I am not a role model. I'm a basketball player. You know, you got parents that are sitting at home. You want to know something? Follow them. You know, but nobody wants to understand truth, and everybody would rather pretend than to actually be. You know, you could work on yourself, but why work on myself when I can pretend like I'm LeBron James at this point? You know, and I can't even dribble a basketball. You know, that's why I say messages of truth. I am who I say I am. Go check that out on Spotify, iTunes. You can pick it up anywhere online. You can even go YouTube, type in herb space dot dot space s, and type in I am who I say I am, the light side, and you get the whole album there, and you can listen to it there. Anybody that knows me knows that this is who I am. I'm not getting ready to be anybody different. You know, you may or may not like me, but I know that my life doesn't move on you because you don't pay my bills. You know, and that's how you should feel about my opinion about you. If it's not something positive, then if I'm not helping you pay your bills, then it doesn't matter. But I cut anybody out of my situation, no matter what the relationship is. If you are not trying to be for me, then I need you away from me. I can love you from a distance. You know, my messages of truth, that goes in my music as well. I don't care, kids, parents, family members, friends, whatever. If you're not for me and you are trying to get over on me, then you need to get away from me. And I can love you from a distance. Same if you feel about me. I'm that type of person that you ain't got to guess what's on my mind. And that's why I said messages of truth. Truth needs to come back to music, no matter what it is. Because as I listen to all genres, all genres then got really light on the messages. You know what I'm saying? And again, you got a generation of young adults and young late teens that are looking for people to tell them something. And right now, they're listening to a whole lot of people that are practicing uh, pretend worlds. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to follow that for the next 10 years in their life, trying to achieve what they thought this other person achieved. You know, you gotta really pay attention to the people that have struggled for you and the people that have put a roof over your head and everything else. And that's why I bring those messages there. You know, I don't care which way it goes or how it goes. If that person did it for you, then ride or die with that person. But that is my messages that go into my music, messages of truth. It's your boy Herb Dot, man. Listen, come on back, man. I got a lot to say, man. You know what I'm saying? And man, I'm trying to drop that knowledge on whoever wants to hear it. You know, I'm trying to. Am I a big deal? Yeah, I am. I'm kind of a big deal. no, no, I'm joking. But for real, come on back. Take a listen to what I'm saying, because again, each one teach one, and if I can help you on up and through, as is the people prior to me help me on up and through, we're supposed to. I'm the big homie now, so I can help anybody that wants that help. You know, understand. Anytime that I go after anything, I'm homicidally competitive. I want to be the best on track. I want to be the best that did the verse. I want to be the best that took that picture, did the video, shot it, edited it. I want to be the best at anything that I start doing. You know, if you want that, then hey, this is the place for you, because I'm going to push you just as I was pushed. It's your boy Herb Dot, man. Listen, do something for somebody else. Trust me. It'll give you a chance to figure out where you're supposed to be. Holla at your boy.